What is up, everybody? Welcome to to black screens here. Come on, Tooth and Tail. There it is. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the I guess the finale of Phase 2 here, the 21 clues. We are going to determine who the last of our finalists are. And I got some interesting graphs here to show you guys as we get started. So let me open those up real quick. Or not really graphs, I suppose, more like graphics. So first off, let's go over kind of where we're at here. If I do that, and then I do a little bit of this. All right. So we had Mishi win the Civilized Challenge. So congratulations to him for that. And we have some live matches that are going to be happening today between Melvin and Mochaccino. Basically, Airlu won both Common Folk and KSR, so we've got Mishi and Airlu both qualifying for the finals for the Phase 3 of the event. And we're going to see some live matches here in a little bit to see who gets this extra slot here. And it's going to start with a best of 3 with Melvin and Mocha. If Melvin ends up winning it, then he just qualifies. But if Mocha wins that best of 3, then we go on to a best of 5 between Mocha and Melvin to determine from there. And what we'll do today is we'll start off with the long coat challenge here. We're going to take a look at some replays. Basically, the challengers need to win their match against the customs, or else they're going to go down on numbers of smugglers here. So right now, Cyanide and this guy kind of in the lead here to determine who's going to win the long coat challenge. And some crazy things can happen with the tiebreaker score if these guys end up dropping smugglers. So we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get to it. But there we are for the start of this. So what we're going to do is, I think some of the players for the live matches need a little bit more time to get here and get ready. So we're going to hop into some of these long coat matches, and we're going to start things off with Eel versus Premium Bow. And again, this is kind of an interesting position here, because depending on the number of smugglers, it really, honestly, this really comes down to this guy and the Cyanide matches, if they're going to maintain their 4 or not. If they go down to 3, then some crazy things can happen. But we'll start off here with Eel versus Premium, see if Eel can stay at that 3. So we got a lot of players here basically at 3 smugglers. They're in the running. It really is going to come down to Cyanide and this guy, what happens there. But if they lose and they go down to 2 or 3 smugglers, then things can get a little wacky. So let's get started, guys. Eel versus P-Boop. Let's get into it. Okay, on the bottom, we've got Illuminatus. His opponent up top, Premium Bow. All right, Premium Bow, longtime mod, supporter of ToothAndTailTV, and a lot more known for his 2v2 prowess than his 1v1, so I'm really curious how this is going to go down. I think Eel is anticipating maybe the lizards from Premium here, since he went ahead and grabbed those toads. The toads, of course, also good at a variety of other things. They're not as of a hardcore counter for lizards as they used to be, but they also have some nice uses against chameleons, against just kind of smashing in against buildings. So Eel didn't quite see the warren coming down from Premium Bow here, but he was able to count how many farms were there and kind of recognize Premium Bow was up to no good. So very nice response here. Premium Bow doubling down, going for the 5-farm double here. Going to move out with a single lizard. The single lizard can wreck some havoc on building pigs, but I think typically you need like 2 lizards, unless you can just find a sweet spot where only 1 pig's shooting at you to really get the job done there. So he's going to come in. Nice sell there. Premium Bow just trying to get some initial harassment going, but so far it looks like Eel's handled this very nicely. He's going to all in on this pig. He does manage to get it, and I only think he lost the lizard there, so that is a nice little victory for P-Boop, but the big problem here is that his economy is very far behind, so I'm not sure if that was really enough damage to really warrant this rush. He does force another sell on the farm there, so he's kind of slowing Eel down very nicely at the moment. And he's going to move in again. He really knows he's got to get more damage done on these pigs. Manages to take out another couple pigs. This is starting to look better and better for Premium, to be honest. Needs to be careful about this counter attack that Eel might be cooking up here shortly. Premium Bo going to go home, re-rally his lizards, get that 8th farm. And this is looking better. You know, I think Premium Bo has kind of justified the rush here. Nice toad connection. And we're a little bit evened out. Maybe Eel's got a slight lead, but I kind of feel like we're fairly even. You know, I was a bit worried about the rush at first, but when Premium Bo came back in and got a couple extra pigs, things are looking good. And he's keeping the pressure on at the moment. But I think Eel's got enough to kind of thwart this back for the time being. So nicely done. Some really good aggression here out of Premium Bo. And that's hard to pull off, especially against high-level players like Eel. And Premium Bo going to try to transition into some Tier 2, but I'm a little bit worried for him. Eel is quite an aggressive player, and he's got really good game sense. He knows when to attack in. So if he can get away with those chameleons, it's going to put him in a good spot. He's losing a lot of money on this barbed wire, but at the same time, it is slowing down the attack, and that's all that Premium Bo needs. He needs time at the moment. He needs to get these cams out. Once these cams hit the board, he's going to have a better chance, but Lizard's not so great at defending. No forward Warrens here to really hug, and Premium Bo taking some damage. Losing a couple pigs there. This is looking nice for Eel, but keep in mind, Premium Bo does have the tech lead now. He's got the chameleons, and chameleons are really good in situations like this. But at the same time, Eel does have toads. Eel's got his own chameleons on the way. So definitely an advantage for Eel here, but I don't want to count Premium Bo out just yet. This is looking rough, but maybe if he believes in the heart of the cards, he can make it happen. The toads all detonating on the lizards. It's actually kind of what Premium Bo wanted here. He wants to keep these chameleons alive, and nicely done. Both cams live. Clean up the attack here from Eel. And Eel still is enjoying a little bit of an economic advantage. Oh, Eel. Oh, man. I thought he was maybe thinking about a Tier 3. That would have been crazy. Getting those snakes, though. And Eel's deck, I think, is really cool. I think it's really reflective of the modern meta here. You know, he's got a lot of anti-chameleon tools up his sleeve. The double Tier 3, I always love seeing that kind of thing. But it's not as crazy nowadays as it used to be. You know, tagging along the wolf with your favorite other Tier 3, you know, is a reasonably viable composition as long as you've got enough other real serious, you know, standard punchy units to kind of back that up. So we're getting into some 2-base economies here. Premium Bo setting up this base over to the side, probably anticipating a base race. And lots and lots of barbed wire coming out here on the front for P-Boop. I don't mind it. You know, it is defending 3 bases, so that is pretty cool. Looks like Premium Bo is trying to set up a flank. Gonna come down here and scout everything out. Yeah, maybe I could bring the scoreboard back up. I just wasn't sure if it was super relevant here. I'll bring that back up afterwards. Oh, Premium Bo gonna come on in. He's looking to just do a run by and try to hit all this infrastructure here. This is a pretty bold move. He's gonna lose everything. He might be able to make it out here with the cams if they don't get poisoned, but they did get poisoned and they all go down. He does have a little bit of an escape path there through the water, so that is kind of cool. Yeah, Premium Bo did manage to knock out both those Tier 2 Warrens, but he lost absolutely everything in the process. And now Eel is set up very nicely for a counterattack here. This barbed wire is annoying, but the chameleons can deal with it just fine. Premium Bo knows he's not going to be able to take this army head on, so it looks like he's trying to position for a base race. And it looks like Eel is kind of anticipating that already with the 3 o'clock Warren here. Just picking off whatever he can and coming back. Yeah, I'll throw the scoreboard back up after this round to make it a little more clear what's going on. Nice attack. Look at all these toads in perfect position to help deal with this, though. Good control there from Eel. I don't know, man. This is a little bit spicy, but Premium Bo is not going down without a fight. He's really trying to wiggle some way of a victory here, and Eel is just saying, let's go, rallying the whole army over. And now we've got ourselves in a base race situation. These lizards are quite good at dealing with this. Eel is not in position to defend a 3 o'clock. Premium doesn't know about the 3 o'clock, but he knows a mill is there. And logically, that's the only place I think Premium Bo is going to win this. Oh my god. That's it. GG. Nicely done there. Wow. Great job from Premium Bo coming back and making that win happen. So, really, all that did was kind of take Eel out of the running. Eel's now dropped down to 2 smugglers. And he's just simply, I don't see a path to victory from there. So, let me see, what are we going into next? We got Jacoby versus Jet. So, let me do a couple things real quick. Oh, that doesn't quite work. Alright, tell you what we'll do. How about we just say Jacoby, Smugglers 3, and then I guess Challenger would have been the better word. Customs Jets. Okay. So basically that just kind of took Eel out of the running here. It was a result of that first game, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I just don't see winning with 2 smugglers left, especially because Rush will have 3 no matter what. Okay, so we're going to have Jacoby versus Jet here. And again, Jacoby is really just trying to defend having 3 smugglers. It's really at this point, it's like if you got 4 smugglers, you're going to win for sure. If you got 3 smugglers and nobody else has 4, then we get into some tiebreaker situations. So let's take a look at this match coming up next. Let's see if Jacoby can defend his smugglers. This is a big match for Jacoby. If he wins this, he maybe qualifies. If he doesn't win this, he for sure doesn't. On the left, rocking his tried and true deck, we got Jacoby. And over on the right, Mr. Jet Erickson. I got to do some events with Jet again, man. I've always really enjoyed casting with him. I think he's a phenomenal caster, great player, really entertaining. I need to do at least some co-casting with him again at some point. So let's see what Jet's up to. I know he's been pretty involved in this tournament. I haven't seen too many of his games lately, though. And this map is a little bit short. You know, there's a lot of economy down here in the south, which is a little bit interesting. It's a bit hard for Jet here. I think maybe Jet's best bet is going to be to try to take over this area, because if he takes this base as a second, it's going to be real easy for Jacoby with his 3 up top to go into that. So this map does definitely favor Jacoby a little bit, and I'm sure he's very happy about that, because this match is very, very important for Jacoby. And for Jet Erickson, it's more just about bragging rights here. So, regular start. I think you could point out it's a little interesting. Jacoby doesn't place his Warrens right next to his farms. He placed them a little more aggressive, but not necessarily aggressive, maybe more on a stance to just kind of have this, you know, close to his expansion. You know, I think Jacoby's typically the kind of player who likes to go up to 2 base, put together his army comp with the Badger and all the bells and whistles, and then come on to there. Okay, we got Melvin and Mocha ready to roll after this match. So we're going to hop into those. We always do like to try to respect the live games as prio. And that should be a lot of fun, man. I mean, Mochaccino's really come up in the past half a year or so. And Melvin, you know, I'm really impressed with Melvin. He's a newer player, and he's already kind of up there at the top, you know, exchanging blows with some of the well-known names in the community. So this is going to be a great match. I actually think Melvin versus Mocha, especially from some of the games we saw on Tasha's stream, you know, they seem really like a really good match for one another. Yeah, Melvin's really good, man. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's really been around for more than a few months. At the earliest, I would say he's a 2020 player. You know, I can't keep up with everybody, but I do tend to know who's who at least a little bit in the scene. I feel like Melvin kind of came along around the same time like Marmu did. And Mocha's been around for quite a while. He used to go by a different handle. But he's also kind of really stepped it up lately too. So Jet's going to come in and harass with some skunks here. Again, we see Jacoby just trying to get up to that second base, trying to get the core pieces of his army together. I think he's building some emergency moles here. A little bit afraid of this attack from Jet. Jet just taking his time harassing, and you know, the second base is almost more of a feign than anything else. Throwing down a little bit of economy. He realizes, okay, I can't get too far behind Jacoby, but Jet is really going for the aggression here. And both players with the skunks, and the pigeons too. So this harassment might be a little null and void. He's going to try to get some of that skunk gas over on the pigs. Oh, the squirrel's chasing down the skunk and barely lives, and here's a big engagement coming out from Jacoby. He knows one of those skunks is low, and he's going to take that as an opportunity to come in. He knocks down a skunk. And this is looking good for Jacoby. He's got all these moles, which are really great at just busting through with their extra crit damage on structures. And nice tanky frontline unit. Another skunk goes down. This might start going from bad to worse here for Jet. You know, he doesn't have very many tier 1 Warrens is what I'm worried about. Like, I was going to say, you know, maybe he can come back from here, but I honestly don't think so. He just doesn't have the tier 1 Warrens on the field to get enough reinforcements. And Jacoby's just going to come in. He's going to knock out this second base. He's still got a healthy army put together, so it's not like he even traded his entire forces to do that. And, you know, Jet's aggressive stance on this map, you know, might have come back to bite him in the rear here. I do understand that line of play from Jet. This map was pretty Jacoby favored, so sometimes when you're in situations like that, the best thing to do is to be aggressive. You know, but maybe the skunk wasn't the best unit for that. Maybe something like snakes would have been better for trying to poke. And there we go, Jacoby gonna keep his spot and the runnings for the long coats. So basically what we saw with those first two games is Eel dropped down to 2 points. So he kind of can't make it anymore, but Jacoby held on at 3. So Jacoby could still possibly make it happen. And we're going to swap over real quick for a couple live matches here between Mocha and Melvin. Again, we're going to start with a best of 3. Oh, whoops. We're going to start with the best of 3. And if Mocha ends up winning that, then he's got to win another best of 5 as well. So let me just do a little censor here while I make the passworded match. Okay. Oh wait, there was already one. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. I'm coming. Coming! There we go. Okay, let's hop into it. Again, this is a best of 3 to start things off. And if Mocha ends up winning, we get a best of 5 as well. And the reason is you can kind of look at the bracket here, but it's kind of like a double elimination's the wrong term, but you can kind of think about it like that. Like Melvin's already kind of prone to win this from the previous matches, so Mocha's kind of got to come back here. And yeah, I'm very excited for these matches. I think these players are both great, very evenly matched. In the bottom here, we've got Mochaccino, and up top, Melvin Fro. All right, both guys with the double tier 3. And I'm loving this setup from Melvin. Really cool to see if he can make that work. And interesting that Mocha's only rocking the 1 tier 1. A little bit greedy, but you got to find a way to fit that double tier 3 into the deck. A lot of players typically just kind of drop off on the defense, but I can understand why Mocha wouldn't want to do that. Mines are very good. However, we do see the boar for Melvin. Not a unit we've seen a ton of lately, but I think it's still very viable, very strong. Especially with so much tier 1 out there. And of course the fox, I'm always happy about that. And this map actually looks, you know, fairly balanced. I don't think either player can really complain. Melvin's got 4 mills up here nice and tight. Mocha's got 3 and then a 4th right here, and then hell, even a 5th if it comes to that. And there's a couple cabins in the middle, just kind of drawing the battle lines. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think this is a fantastic map for this. You know, neither player can really complain about their start here. You know, sure, you could argue if it goes long enough, you know, Mocha doesn't get that extra mill, but 9 times out of 10, it doesn't really matter. Mirror openings so far, both players just wanting to get into that economy in the beginning of the game. I think this is a solid opening too, by the way, if you're trying to learn. You know, going into 1 tier 1 into a mill is perfectly fine. If your opponent is really going to be aggressive, then you can kind of play from 60 food behind and, you know, really just focus on tier 1 and not build any farms. But since both players here did scout their opponents going into that mill, they're both perfectly happy throwing down a couple farms here. And this phase of the game is very, very important. I love this switch, by the way, from you kind of got to outgreed one another. Mocha's going to come in and see, you know, all right, my opponent is building more and more farms, and scouting is very, very critical. You really don't want to fall behind on the eco, but at the same time, you don't want to over-eco and then just get ran over. So it looks like we're basically having a gentleman's agreement start here. You know, and it's very important, too, when you see stuff like this, to understand these players are being so greedy on the back of information, you know. It is totally incorrect to just do what they're doing blind. I do want to highlight that, you know. You have to make sure you understand what your opponent's doing. And I think both players really did a good job, you know, keeping up with the scouting and responding appropriately. And now Melvin trying to get up to that Big Daddy Boar. This is a little bit risky, but at the same time, he knows Mocha has been very greedy. He doesn't have a large standing army. Mocha's going to get in and get that scout. And Melvin, I don't think he saw the tier 2, but at the same time, you're not going to be overly shocked about the tier 2. And again, both players know that their opponent has that third base up. And I'm so far I'm liking this for Melvin, man. Like, Mocha knows about the boar. And the question is the wolf plus the cams and falcons going to be enough to stop this attack? You know, this is a little bit all-in-y from Melvin because the boar doesn't have a lot of utility outside of this big smash attack. Whereas, you know, this wolf is going to be very viable all game long. He's going to be buffing up production and farming speeds. He's going to be buffing up units. And wolf plus cam and falcon is just definitely crazy. So Melvin definitely needs to get some damage done with this boar, to say the least. Like, he needs to trade the boar for the wolf at the minimum. You know, he's really looking to have a strong attack. But actually, you know what? He might not be moving out. You know, since he threw down that Fox Warren, you know, maybe he's just trying to get up to a more complete army. And he hasn't really gotten a lot of scouting lately. He doesn't know about the tier 3 for Mocha. He doesn't know how many farms are on that other base, but you know, Melvin already up to 3 fully saturated farms here. And I like this. I like this from Melvin, just kind of hanging out. He's gonna resist the urge to try to bust in with the timing attack, because Mocha's really prepared for this. He's got a bunch of falcons. He's making a bunch of mines. But I do think Mocha's got that better late game comp, you know, between the wolf and the owl. You know, the fox has really got to get a lot of damage done. You know, constantly poking. And it's a nice utility in between moments like this, I think, is where the fox can really shine. But the owl can do something similar with its mice harass, right? Like, in between the big battles, you run around, you poke and prod with your fox. But Mocha's going to have that same potential with the owl. And right now, honestly, this army for Mocha's looking real scary. He's got owl number 1 on the way. Owl number 2's coming. We're getting to 4 bases. So when I was talking about earlier, like, oh yeah, Mocha gets that extra mill, but it probably won't matter. Well, this game it probably will matter, since it's been so passive. And another thing that's really fun to think about when we get into these big armies, these like death ball armies, where neither player is attacked all game, is like, how do you sell your Warrens after the big attack? But hold that thought, Melvin's thinking about making something happen. He knows about the mines, but the problem is, from this angle, he's very committed. He's not going to be able to retreat very well. And the big attack is happening. A lot of falcons in the air for Mocha. The fox can deal with that very nicely if it can actually get the shots on the falcons, though. Oh, the fox taking out the owl. And so far, Melvin's keeping the fox alive, but it goes down. And the wolf stays up. Big victory there for Mochaccino. And how are these players selling things down? That's always what I'm really trying to focus on when we've had big death ball games like this. You know, a lot of times you don't get to armies this big because we're constantly trading all game, right? Well, in this situation, they sat back until the 6-minute mark, where the first real skirmish happened. And that was definitely better for Mocha, but Melvin's got the better economy here. And Melvin's rebuilding. He did lose his tier 3, but he also took down a lot of tier 2 in the process. And look at this, double the economy at the moment for Melvin. That's huge. And he's even going up to 2 boars. These boars are going to do a good job dealing with the mice, dealing with the chameleons, dealing with the squirrels. And it's smart for Mocha too to kind of hang back on the squirrel count. Lots of falcons in the air for both sides. And Mocha's getting ready for another attack. He's got 2 owls up, but again, the 22 farms from Melvin. Keep that in mind. If Melvin can just trade reasonably well here, if he doesn't just straight up die, you know, the next attack is what I'm really worried about for Mocha. Melvin ended up knocking down a couple of those farms in that attack, too. It is a little bit surprising to see how far ahead Melvin's economy is here. Ooh, these mines! Gotta be careful. Does bait out an engagement here, though. That's what he wants. His boar and chameleon front line just roasting down those mice. No big deal. And Mocha really wants to get that wolf buff on the falcons, I think. I don't know, man. This is looking better and better for Melvin. Mocha's starting to catch up in economy. And Melvin even teched out completely from tier 1. No tier 1 at all here. I would actually like to see, like, a few squirrels for Melvin just to minesweep with, you know? Like, even just 1 squirrel warren to just kind of run them around in between engagements and try to find mines. $20 falcons on the way here for Melvin. And the second boar is here. Is this going to trigger a big attack for Melvin? I'm surprised we haven't seen a 3rd owl yet, but that is a big investment. All right, Melvin's pushing forward. He's gonna roast all these mice down before the engagement even really starts. You know, I think that might have been a bit of a mistake for Mocha, just letting those mice die before the attack. You know, these owls are virtually useless at the moment. And Melvin is just dominating in the sky here. So many falcons. And that's gonna be it. Mocha's gonna have to tap out. Alright, these players are ready to rock and roll. Mocha needs to win 2 games back-to-back to have a chance, or Melvin is going to qualify as our 3rd finalist. These players thinking about their comps, deciding if they want to change anything up. And here we go, guys. On the left, we've got Mochaccino, and over to the right, Melvin Fro. Okay, this map does look maybe, I don't know, it's hard to say again, you know. Mocha's got the natural, so he can't complain about that, but Melvin's got 3 bases nice and tight right here. However, you know, Mocha potentially does have 4. It's just that his 3rd base is a little bit more far forward, and it's going to be a lot more difficult to defend since these 4 gristmills right here are kind of split to the different sides, you know. So there's kinds of pros and cons to both these maps. For both these players on this map. I feel like going into the early to mid game, this probably favors Melvin, but if Mocha can really plants his flag out there and really say, you know, hey man, everything west of this rock is mine, he will end up with 4 bases, and that might just be exactly what he needs to end the game out. Additionally, it's going to be a little more awkward for Melvin to attack into Mocha, since he does have this nice little pond outside his base. And a little bit of awkward on the ramping here. But I'm a little bit excited for this map, to be honest, since it is so small. It seems like a good map to skirmish on. Yeah, I like this a lot from Mocha. Go ahead and claim this base. This is going to be the hard base to claim later on. So by, you know, putting his foot down now, he's really locking in these other couple gristmills. The downside is, you know, if Melvin shuts this down early, it is going to be a little bit easier for Melvin to attack into this position. And if he manages to shut this down, then that might just be GG for Mocha. But it's not going to be easy, you know. Mocha's only 60 food behind, but he does have these moles here, which are very nice to reinforce against a rush. And I don't think Melvin can quite commit. So it looks like Mocha's going to get away with it for the time being. You know, maybe Melvin starts poking around on some of these warrens. This is a very risky positioning here for Mocha, but I like it. I do agree with it. The problem is, if the battle starts going south, he's going to lose everything. You know, his warrens aren't defended, but Melvin's at the same point. He's got all of his warrens up front. We have an engagement here. These moles really helping tank the front lines for Mocha, but I think Melvin's going to wind up with a couple more squirrels left over. Nice retreat there for Mocha, keeping a few units alive. Desperately trying to build more and more Tier 1 warrens. The number of Tier 1 warrens is very, very important. You know, determining how fast you can rebuild your army and get some boots on the ground. I like mixing in the lizards too. Squizzard is a very powerful combination. And this is tense, man. This is super tense. You know, Melvin knows if Mocha can hold this position, it's going to put him in a great spot to go into the mid-game. I think this is, you know, you kind of got to do this as Melvin. Oh, man, this is rough. This next attack might just decide the fate of these finalists here. Nice harassment on the Warrens. Mocha doesn't want to commit, but he is going to come in at the last minute. He's going to keep that Warren alive. We got a big engagement going on. Both players trying to target fire as best as they can. And it looks like Melvin might have enough to push through. However, all these Warrens are right here. The reinforcements show up for Mocha. He's going to be able to push this back for now, but Mocha did lose a Warren, which is huge. You'll keep in mind, Mocha's already a little bit behind on food for having that mill. But once this 5-minute mark hits, it's going to take a lot of the wins out of the sails here for Melvin. I'm curious when Melvin's just going to throw down his own mill, or if he's going to keep this attack rolling. Melvin's starting to get the higher end here on the tier 1. More and more numbers coming down. Mocha realizes he's falling behind a little bit, going to build these moles. The moles reinforcing very quickly. Yeah, Melvin is being cognitive of that 5-minute mark upcoming. Going to go ahead and grab a mill. And, you know, Melvin might have the better comp here, might have the better forces. But the defender's advantage is very, very real. You know, these Warrens taking some hits can make a big difference as long as they stay alive. All right, Mocha might be feeling a little spicy here. He's going to move forward. He's got a lot of moles on the front line. He's going to come in. Lots of targeting from both sides here, and I think that might have been a mistake. And Mocha knows that Melvin had more forces, and with the defender's advantage, he holds him off. Mocha taps out. And GG. Congratulations, Melvin, for advancing. Nice try for Mocha. A couple quick, action-packed matches there. I think we're a little disappointed we didn't get to see more between you guys, but those are some great games. Well played. And big congratulations to Melvin for advancing on. All right, we just saw Jacoby versus Jet. So now we're going into Tosh versus Jet. So I'll just update this scoreboard. The scoreboard's not super necessary right here, but it does keep people informed of what's going on if they're just kind of tuning in. Whoa, why is that backwards? Flip vertical? Nope. Flip horizontal? There we go. Jeez, Manelli. Okay, so big congratulations for Melvin, man. That means he's advancing on. We've got Mishi, Melvin, and Araloo as 3 of our finalists, and we're trying to determine who the 4th one is going to be. There we go. I need to learn how to, like, do that behind the scenes. I know there's a way where I can sit there and edit it and then, like, make it go live when I'm done. Okay, so Tosh is in the same boat that Jacoby was in. You know, he's kind of in the running here with 3 smugglers. If he drops down to 2, that's kind of it for him. But if he stays at 3, he might have a chance. So let's take a look here. All right, in the bottom, we've got Jet Erickson. And over to the right, Big Pimpin' Tosh. And, you know, Tosh is a great player. He's always putting on work. He's always streaming. He's always casting and streaming events. And also just straight up ladder, which is really cool. Not a whole lot of players these days are streaming ladder, so it's cool to see him still doing that from time to time. And one thing about Tosh is he's always coming up with crazy deck ideas. You know, he's always experimenting. And I think that's really cool. It's probably difficult, you know, for players like, all right, Delthius, you know, he uses Fox a lot, right? Or Jacoby, he's always using the Badger. Or Araloo, he's kind of got this, you know, chameleon, mid-game, mine-centric deck. Like, you can't really say anything like that about Tosh. You know, he's always coming up with wacky stuff. So Jet really has no idea what to expect. And this time around, Tosh is coming up with the cavalcade of Tier 2. He's got basically all the Tier 2 options available to him. No ferrets here, but, you know, unfortunately for the ferrets, they're not the best unit at the moment. But I think Skunk, Chameleon, Snake, Falcon all have great roles and great usage. And no tier 3, no defense on either side. Just very mid-game kind of punchy comps here. You know, I like this this comp from Tosh. You know, he probably wants to get into Chameleons, most likely, but he's got the other units, you know, for the situations arise where they need them. And Tosh is just going to go straight up to 4 farms immediately. I think that's smart for this map. This is a big, wonky, large map with an awkward rush distance. So Jet doesn't care, though. Jet kind of pulled a fast one on Tosh here by taking that expansion. That was part of the reason Tosh decided to commit so hard to farms. But Jet, again, as we saw in the game with Jacoby, he's going to be aggressive. He's placing Warrens very, very close. He really just used that gristmill to expand his territory. And he's moving in, but again, the rush is so far. And Tosh does have a lot of tier 1 Warrens on the way, but he doesn't quite have enough here ready to go against Jet. You know, I think Jet really pulled a fast one on building that mill and not actually committing farms to it. I think if Tosh maybe built like 2 pigs, he probably would have been fine. But he's in a little bit of trouble here from Jet. He doesn't have a lot of Warrens, which again is very worrying. 3 pigs have already gone down. 1 Warren went down as well. So Jet's keeping the aggression on. And as long as he keeps just charging in, keeping the squirrel count low from Tosh here, this is going to be very difficult to ever hold on. You know, Tosh even losing some Warrens. But Tosh has built enough Warrens in the back here to kind of stabilize. And you know what? Tosh might actually be stabilizing. And the tier 2 was a bit risky in my opinion. It's going to take a long time to really affect anything. But if he can keep the rest of these pigs alive, like he did lose 2 pigs, but he still got an extra 2 as well. And now Tosh finally has enough of his own tier 1 Warrens. Now he's in fantastic shape. You know, Jet's got a lot of these Warrens out here in awkward positioning. Tosh is getting away with that tier 2. He's managed to push Jet far enough back. And if Jet loses this engagement and his Warrens start falling, that's going to be real bad. Tosh has got the skunks on the way, though. Wouldn't even hate to see like a single pigeon Warren. There it is. And Tosh has even got several farms. Now, Jet's not out of this. He did get that second base up already, so he's got multiple farms on the way. So very nicely handled there from Tosh. Looks like he is going to stabilize, and he did enjoy that economic lead in the early game, and now he's putting together a great army comp to deal with Mass Squirrel. Jet's trying to get his own similar comp put together, but he's a step behind. You know, I think that I still stand by the statement it was risky for Tosh to throw down that tier 2, and he did, but he got away with it. You know, he kind of knew, all right, I've got enough squirrels to stabilize here. I can punch back a little bit. I'm going to have plenty of time. I'm going to have my 40 seconds that I need to get my skunk out. And this is looking really good for Tosh. Jet might just be losing too much. You know, all these Warrens going down. He only has 1 squirrel Warren remaining, and it's about to fall as well. Only a single skunk to defend here. So it looks like Tosh is going to protect his 3 smugglers. Smart from Tosh here to kind of pull back. You know, trying not to overextend, but he's got this one in the bag. You know, there's really not much Jet can do at this point. Jet's really just got to throw down a bunch of emergency tier 1 Warrens and cross his fingers and hope, you know, maybe Tosh miss-rallies or something. But here we go. Tosh is not going to give him that time. He's going to move on in. Jet still trying to build more farms. He knows even if he holds this off, if he doesn't have the farms, he's going to lose the game on the next wave anyways, and that's probably going to be the tack there for Jet. Nicely done. Congratulations to Tosh. He's going to defend his 3 smugglers. Okay, and real quick, guys, I'm going to take a very quick break, like 1 minute, and then we'll get into the last couple of matches of the day. It's been a fast one. Alrighty, I am back. Let's do a little bit of scoreboard adjustments here. So now we're gonna have Cyanide with his 4 smugglers going up against old P-Boop here. And I think Premium Bow gets an extra life on this one. Yeah. Okay. So Premium Bow's got 2 lives. So that means if Cyanide wins both these matches, and then this guy loses one of his, then Cyanide advances. So there you go. A nice looking scoreboard there. They just play twice no matter what. Yep. Gotcha. Oh yeah, I guess lives isn't appropriate. How about attempts? There we go. That looks a little better. Okay. Here we go, guys. This is a big match here. Really, the main running here is Cyanide and this guy to advance. We've already got Melvin Fro. Congratulations again for advancing today. We've got Mishi, we've got Airlu. And let's figure out who's going to be the last finalist to move on. In the bottom, we've got Premium Bow. And over to the right, Cyanide Trick. Ooh. I'm liking these decks from both players. Really cool stuff. Let's see if Premium Bow's going to rush. He hasn't queued up a farm, so that's kind of indicative of moles coming up. But Cyanide's aware and goes ahead and builds some lizards. Lizard Toad, a really fun combination here. Oh man, this is spicy. I think the lizards are going to be out in time to defend this. The mole does get out a little bit early, but he's not going to have enough time to actually take out that Warren. Yeah, and Premium Bow's just going to have to go home with his tail between his legs. But now he's got no units. Cyanide, this is... Uh-oh, this is a disaster. And this one pig here, I think the one lizard can fight the one pig if no other pigs are attacking it. Oh no, this is going really good for Cyanide. Premium Bow down to 3 farms. He's gonna drop down to 2. Premium Bow, no. Oh my god. Really good for the Cyanide fans out there. I bet Cyanide was feeling real happy with this. Premium Bow is mustering together a couple squirrels, but the big thing to keep in mind here is this was only a single Warren off of Cyanide, and this is really smart from Premium Bow. Just gonna come in. He knows he's got a few extra units on his opponent. He knows his opponent's got lizards, not quite the best unit on defense. So he's just gonna try to make it happen off 2 farms. If Premium Bow steals another win here, it said Premium Win. We're just gonna have to start calling him Premium Win if he wins this match. But this looks like plenty of lizards to defend. I think Premium's got to tap out. That was hilarious. We have some really short games today. All right, so Cyanide defending his smugglers so far. Premium Bow's got one more chance to ruin his dreams. Let's see what happens. All right, on the left we've got Premium Bow, and on the right, on the bottom, I guess, Cyanide Trick. Really weird spots to spawn. You know, it seems like Cyanide really should have like spawned over here, but you've got this huge map with plenty of economy going on, and they're spawned like right here. Doesn't that look weird to you guys? It looks a little weird to me. Which is a shame because we see some really cool units coming out of both players here. Boar artillery on both sides. What year is it? And then balloon and turret as well. So I would love to see some of those units and some of the compositions that they're thinking up here get showcased. I don't know if it's going to happen. Both players blindly rushing. 5 farm single, 5 farm double from both sides. 5 farm double up here on the edge of the territory here for Cyanide. This was pretty smart from Cyanide. I think he might be getting Premium Bow's MO at this moment, that he likes to be aggressive. So he's going to go ahead and take an aggressive stance himself. But, you know, if Cyanide can attack in, it's going to be hard for Premium Bow to defend. You know, if Premium Bow can take the initiative with his lizards, you know, fight the squirrels outside of their warrens or just use good target firing. You know, these warrens aren't defended by the farms. Oh, he's trying to sneak in, but I don't think that's going to work, and he's even going to get into pig firing range here, but the lizards do brawl a little bit better than squirrels do. Ooh, this is a bit greedy from Premium Bow. Losing an extra lizard there. And not managing his money as well as Cyanide. Cyanide is picking up some farms on the back of this. But Premium Bow is actually just going to double down on this aggression. Keeping at 5 farms and instead going to build up in some warrens. So let's see if Premium Bow can amass large enough numbers here to just overwhelm Cyanide. You know, again, what I'm a little bit worried about for Cyanide is that all of his warrens are placed, you know, away from the farms. So it's going to make defending a bit trickier, but he's still got plenty of units. He's got the same amount of warrens down that Premium Bow does. If he can hold on to this attack, you know, he might just straight up win the game with the better economy. But Premium Bow is going to try to take the engagement on the warrens. Not quite able to get it. Gets it pretty low, though. Cyanide picking up a few lizards there for free, thanks to that longer distance of the squirrels. Really needs to protect this warren, though. This is starting to look bad for Premium Bow, to be honest. He really needed to get something done. He really delayed his economy a lot. You know, it's not the end of the world if Premium Bow can stay back for a little bit now and try to just kind of let some time pass. And those faster farms for Cyanide won't matter quite as much. Premium flirting with the idea of throwing down some defensive turrets here. Cyanide trying to set up his toads in a flanking position. Yeah, Premium Bow's a little bit nervous. A bunch of turrets going down. This army comp from Cyanide's looking deadly. He's even taking a second base here. And is he going to attack through this area? It looks like it. Premium Bow's going to try to go into the back. He's got him kind of sandwiched in between the turret and his units, but just so many units here for Cyanide. Those toads got some good connections as well. And now the pain train is going to begin here on Premium Bow. Warren's going down. Farm's going down. Premium Bow is going to hold off for the time being, but he's very, very behind. Cyanide feeling pretty confident here, even throwing down a couple extra farms. Premium Bow knows he's in trouble. Building some emergency turrets, but these turrets aren't defending everything here. Cyanide can attack in the same way he did last time. Ooh. That's got to be a big morale loss for Premium running in there and see it. Man, he's got a second base going with farms on it. It's rough stuff. I like this from Cyanide, though. Just making sure, you know, not rushing it. Taking his time. He's got plenty of units. Oh, some of his units ended up getting split on those turrets. That is nice for Premium. But he's basically got Premium Bow contained. Premium Bow with the emergency bore. I love it. I actually think that's really smart. He needs something, you know. And if Cyanide doesn't see it... Oh, man, he would have seen it if he went a little bit farther. Oh, no, Premium Bow harassing this guy. You just got him to scout your tier 3 Warren. I mean, it's a long shot, but he's pulling the Hail Mary here. He's thinking, all right, maybe if I can buy enough time for this borer, I can flamethrow my way through all of his tier 1. But this is it. This is the final countdown here for Premium Bow. He even sells a Warren just to get that out ASAP. Cyanide's like, fine, I'll build my own boar, Broseph. It's a lot of toads, too. If those toads actually connect onto the boar, they will delete it very fast. Cyanide doing his due diligence here, just checking around, making sure Premium Bow is actually on one base. Alright, the Big Daddy Boar is about to pop out here for Premium Bow. Ready to turn up the heat. Need a light. Some Falcons on the way, but here we go. He's going to roast down that Warren immediately. And the big engagement starts, and the Boar is still staying alive at 1 HP. Gets so much work done. Oh my god, Premium. There's no way. There's no way. There's so many Warrens here for Cyanide still. He should be able to build enough reinforcements to block this back. Nice attempt from Premium. He's going to have to tap right there. Oh, man. Alright, so what that means is Cyanide stays at 4 smugglers. So we got 2 games left today. We've got this guy versus Jet, everyone's favorite customs official. Kind of in the same boat here. So Cyanide's probably watching with his fingers crossed, hoping this guy just loses a single map. If this guy loses a single map, then Cyanide advances. I'm not sure what we do. I guess it goes to the tiebreaker score if they both stay at 4. Which would mean this guy qualifies. So for Cyanide to win, this guy has to lose a single match. Yeah, Cyanide is the winner unless this guy wins twice. Yep. And then this guy wins because he's got a better tiebreaker score. Alright, so let's see it, folks. On the left, also with the board, we've got this guy. And over to the bottom right, Jet Erickson. No chameleons at all. I mean, everybody knows this guy loves the skunks. And the boar is a cool, cool add-on. You know, we've actually seen a lot of boar play today. And this map is awkward for both players, but I think I like it better for this guy. I mean, Jet can go bam, bam, bam-ba-lam. But that's only 3 bases, where this guy kind of gets 4. He's got a little bit of awkward ramping here, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. So yeah, I guess this map's fine. I like it a little bit better for this guy, but it's definitely playable for Jet. So let's see what the opening is going to be. Are we going to do 8 farm doubles? Or are we going to do 8 farm singles into mills? Maybe somebody will try to get out of fast tier 2. Eight farm double here from Jet into an Expo. This is like the safest, most standard opening you can do. If you're new or if you're trying to think about some builds, 8 farm double into a mill is very good. Gives you a lot of options. That's how I typically open up myself. And Jet scouted the mill from his opponent. He's going to go ahead and throw down a couple farms. He's going to come in here and see how many farms this guy throws down. None yet. So that might make him a little bit worried, as this guy is just building tier 1 so far. So yeah, that very smart from Jet there. I like to go ahead and just keep the 1 farm, trying to get the skunks out. Maybe he'll have enough time, but he hasn't seen tier 2 of his opponent. So I'm a bit worried for Jet, because if this guy just builds some moles and moves out, you know, Jet's invested a lot of economy on things that are not tier 1 units right here, right now. And this guy's gonna push in. You know, Jet's got a nice defender's advantage here with the high ground, with the Warren placement, even with a couple pigs shooting to defend. Oh, this is not looking good for this guy. He needed to get some damage done there. Now Jet's got the tier 2 lead. He's kind of got the economy lead, but I guess not really. You know, this guy does go home and throw down a farm. Not the end of the world for this guy. But this follow-up attack from Jet is going to be difficult. Jet's going to have his skunks and his pigeons. Composition he's really well practiced in. And trying to hold this off with just pure squirrel is going to be a nightmare. Trying to stutter step around. Targeting down this skunk, but the pigeons just keep it alive for so long. Oh my god, there's probably a happy cyanide out there. Because this is not looking good for this guy. He even tried to build a bunch of farms on the back of this. He really needed his own skunks or something here. You know, this is looking really good for Jet. This guy trying to micro around with the skunk warrens, but really, like, moving and grooving micro in Tooth and Tail is not the best in the world because you lose fire. And that is it. I think this guy's given up. And Jet takes it, so that makes Cyanide the 4th finalist. Wow. Let's see if this is a dummy replay. Do we have one more just for fun? This might just be a dummy replay. No, we got one more for fun. Let's go ahead and watch it, guys, just for the hell of it. For the entertainment. So, in the bottom left, it's Jet, and in the top right, it's this guy. So, yeah, so Cyanide went on. Congratulations, man. Let me go ahead and just remove that scoreboard. We're just kind of watching this for fun. Yeah, you know, I almost don't believe that it's this guy playing this deck, right? Like, this guy with lizards and snakes and wolf? This guy's at 3 smugglers if he wins this, right? Well, Cyanide stayed at 4, though, so Cyanide for sure wins. We didn't even need to see this game. I'm just kind of playing it for the hell of it. If I'm understanding everything right. So that means our finalists were Melvin, Mishi, Araloo, and Cyanide Trick. So congratulations to those 4 players. And I'm not exactly sure when the actual Phase 3, final tournament is, but I imagine it's going to be very, very soon. Maybe next weekend or something. This guy opening up with Quick Tier 2, scouted by Jet. And this is a good response. I wouldn't even hate to see a couple farms here. These 8-farm Tier 2 openings are a bit difficult. I think Mocha really schooled me in a tournament match when I tried to do a 8-farm Tier 2 opening, and he basically just built a whole bunch of farms on an expansion. He got 3 farms immediately, got his own Tier 2 down, and then by the time I was moving across to attack, he had Tier 1, Macon, he had his own Tier 2 there, and he had a better economy. So we don't quite see that response here from Jet. He didn't throw down any farms, so this guy's not super far behind. He does have the cams out, and cams are a nice quick Tier 2 to have because you don't have to do a direct engagement. You can just kind of run around and get a little bit of harassing in. And right now, so far, this looks good for this guy. He's getting the eco lead. He's got the tech lead. In general, I think the cams do better than skunks do in the big fight. But at the same time, this isn't a disaster for Jet or anything. To be honest, both players are in very, very similar positions. So we might get to see a cool mid-game here. Hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend. I've got some D&D coming up in a couple hours. We're going to do a shorter session, but keep things moving. Me and the wife started playing Halo. We bought the Master Chief Collection or whatever on Steam. So we were playing Halo Combat Evolved co-op last night. That was a lot of fun. Might do that a little more today later. Been playing a lot of modded Skyrim. I got 150 mods now. It's pretty ridiculous, but it's looking really great. And the gameplay overalls are a lot of fun. What I thought was really cool about the Halo 1 on Steam is you can press tab to like cycle to the original graphics and then back to the enhanced, you know, like remastered version. 100 mods, no sir, 150 mods. I watch a guy on Twitch that's got 900 mods. It's insane. It's mostly a lot of textures and stuff. Like, I have a ridiculously powerful PC, so kind of just wanted to see what it could do. And it can do quite a lot. Alright, this guy's smashing through. Oh, actually, Jet's going to defend this, and he's getting up to 4 skunks, which is quite nice. But yeah, just like pressing tab on the original Halo and seeing how horrible it looked initially, like, it's so crazy. Because I remember when it came out in like 2001 or something, I was 12. And I had the Xbox, I had Halo, and it like blew my mind how good it looked, you know. And you look at it now and you're just like, ugh. It's so blocky. But it does hit the nostalgia a little bit when you press the tab to the original texture. You know, it is a really fun game. We were having a lot of fun. We're playing on Legendary. Legendary is not so bad when you have co-op, though, because it's like when one of you die, the other one just like runs away and you respawn, you know? So it's a little cheesier that way. But it's still quite fun. Just mowing down grunts with an assault rifle. We're having a lot of fun trolling each other with the Warthog. Yeah, I played a lot of Halo 1. I was even that kid. I played on XP Connect, which was before Xbox Live. It basically was a computer program where you could hook up your Xbox to the Ethernet cable to your modem, or your router, and it would trick the Xbox into think you're playing System Link when you're really playing online. So I would play Halo 1 online, and then I go over to my buddies' houses and just school everybody, because I'm like practicing all the time, you know? And then Halo 2 was awesome. I remember Halo 2 coming out and playing that online a whole lot. But I didn't really play Halo 3 much. I think I got like halfway through maybe I beat the campaign on that. I don't really remember. But that's around when I kind of dropped off on the Halo games. I didn't really play any of the other ones. I wasn't really a big first-person shooter guy after Halo, to be honest. I've never been super into that. I've been playing the Doom games, the newer Doom games. It's been a lot of fun. I played Overwatch for a while, but I'm more of a strategy or RPG player than I am first person. I do like first person, I do enjoy it, but I can only do it for so long, you know? I guess it just scratches a different itch. Nice attack here with these lizards, just picking off those warrens for free. And we got a big engagement. I'm liking Jet Erickson's army, though. Gonna pull in. Lots of falcons, lots of skunks. These pigeons here to help counteract the snake poison. Yeah, I've got like 6 combat mods for Skyrim. They kind of make it a little more Dark Souls combat-esque. I can do like rolls and stuff, and changes like hitboxes, makes the AI a lot smarter. Then there's Legacy of the Dragonborn, adds a whole lot of new content. I was really impressed with this one mod called Underworlds, which adds like a whole bunch of really crazy dungeons. I mean, it looks like Jet's just kind of breaking through now. So nicely done. So congratulations again to Melvin Fro and for Cyanide Trick. Both of them qualifying today. And we also already had Mishi and Aralu. So big grats, everybody. Stay tuned to the Gentleman's Discord channel, to the Pocketwatch Discord channel. We'll let you guys know when the finals are going to be, probably sometime soonish, just whenever we can make it to where it's convenient for all 4 players. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that last event. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your weekend here. And take care, everybody. We will see y'all next time. I don't really think I got anybody to host at the moment, unfortunately. So that's going to be it. Take care, everybody. See y'all later.